no. I said no, he did not travel by himself.
I'm going to pause you 1 second. Just make sure we have more eyes on Kanisha. I'm going to give a credit to Makai. Love the silent agree. Thank you for hitting those eyes there, Hayden. Thank you for hitting those eyes there, Jeremiah. Go ahead.
I said no, he did not travel by himself. He was accompanied by 2 associates.
Ooh, precise language. I love it. Use that word accompany.
So here's my question. As Jeremiah Lane also mentioned, his horse was with him too, so he wasn't alone. What emotions do you think he experienced on this ride? What emotions did he experience on this ride?
Hayden, Naomi, and Childs get urgency credits. They had their hands up in the air before Miss Garcia finished the question.
Try Jeremiah Childs. Thank you, Naomi, for getting there immediately. Go ahead.
I said that he felt excited, fear, and happiness.
Excitement, fear, happiness. What else might he felt? Try Hayden.
I said he might have felt anxious, afraid, and maybe relieved that he got the job done.
Ooh, so you already got that job done. Track me. This is important.
LJ, track with Mr. Garcia.
There's an important connection we need to make today. So we're going to go off track for a second. Here's what you need to know. Yesterday during your IA, you read a text. Now, I read the text for the first time yesterday, and I was very, very upset, frustrated, and offended. Now, after reading it once, I did a lot of research. I looked up the author. I looked up what she was writing about. I looked up where she was from. I did all this background research because I needed to understand where this story came from. What I then learned was this woman was a woman of color describing a negative experience she had with a teacher. I then also could connect the dots as to this isn't as offensive as it is a story she needed to tell, to let the writer and audience, or let the reader know that she wasn't happy with that experience, and that when I first read this, I didn't understand the lesson learned. Instead, I chose to be offended by it. So what I learned is with context and background information, I can then understand that this text itself isn't offensive because of who wrote it and why they wrote it. But then I can also figure out their deeper meaning. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to read a poem about Paul Revere's ride. But we're going to be reading from an author who's not writing when Paul Revere was alive. He's writing years later. But also we're trying to figure out what is his message. In our first read, we might not understand it as well as we could until after we do our context. So we have an idea of what happened here in Paul Revere's ride. We need to keep these questions in mind. Turn to the next page silently. Naomi got there immediately. Jeremiah Childs got there immediately. Makai got there immediately and silently. He's making sure he's ready. So, just like we've done with the last questions, bless you, we need to continue our investigations. We're going to have our detective leaderboard up here. We need to answer these investigation questions as we read through this context. The key points we need to figure out is who is this author? What is important to know about this author as well as his audience? And what do you think his audience is concerned with? So, you're going to have 4 minutes to read through this first page. Investigation, answer, you have to solve the investigation 1 and investigation 2, which is conveniently located at the bottom, but also on the other page. 4 minutes. And you need at least 2 notes per page to figure out those investigations. Pencils are moving. Eyes are in. Great scholars are going to be working the entire time silently. Go.
Jaylene, urgency. She already has a pen and paper.
Maylene, urgency. She got straight to work. Noticing Michaela's eyes are in. Noticing Oluka's pen is in hand as he reads.